This video will wow you. One of the wealthiest corporations in the world, Blackrock, is very interested in XRP Ripple. However, how does this show up? They are covertly accumulating trillions of dollars worth of XRP Ripple coins behind the scenes with the intention of manipulating the market to reach unimaginable heights. Sounds intriguing. According to experts, XRP's price might soar above $35,000. Very cool, huh? Let's determine what is and is not true. Let's get right to the point without further ado. Disclaimer: XRP is the subject of intense discussion, and the reason for this is obvious. According to rumors, Blackrock, the biggest asset management in the world, is considering creating XRP ETF. If this is accurate, it may be a game changer for the cryptocurrency. Analysts, fans, and investors are already making predictions about the significant price change that might occur. Crypto influencer Steph tweeted, "Blackrock is eyeing your XRP, capturing the enthusiasm. We will all become wealthy once they pull the trigger." Meanwhile, Blackrock's large purchase of XRP was fueled by Crypto Sensei. However, how credible are these assertions? Let's dissect it to see why an XRP ETF is important. Let's apply a comparison. Imagine purchasing a fruit basket at the grocery store that has apples, bananas, and grapes in a handy bundle rather than individual fruits. An ETF functions similarly, but it contains assets like stocks, gold, or cryptocurrencies in place of fruit. By eliminating the hassle of managing private keys for cryptocurrency wallets and exchanges, an XRP ETF would enable investors to purchase and trade XRP through a regulated financial product, much like they would purchase shares of Apple or Tesla on the stock market. This would make it much simpler for traditional investors, particularly institutions, to obtain exposure. XRP. With more than $9 trillion in assets managed, Blackrock is a financial behemoth that has previously made audacious forays into the cryptocurrency space by introducing Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Nate Gerasi, president of the ETF shop, and other industry experts now think that Blackrock is getting ready to apply for an XRP ETF next. Blackrock isn't alone, though. Grayscale, Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Re, Bitwise, and at least 15 more fund managers have already applied for an XRP spot ETF. These files are being reviewed by the SEC, and the likelihood of clearance is increasing due to recent regulatory changes. The speculation is summed nicely in John Squire's tweet. Rumor has said that Blackrock might put $9 trillion into XRP. The potential impact is apparent, even though the precise amount is up for debate. Regulatory ambiguity has been one of the main obstacles to establishing XRP ETF. For years, Ripple and the SEC have been embroiled in a legal dispute over the agency's allegations that it sold unregistered securities. Recent events, however, suggest that the SEC may be rescinding its appeal, which is stoking rumors that XRP would soon be formally recognized as a commodity, similar to gold or oil. If that occurs, XRP may be able to avoid some of the stringent securities requirements, which would facilitate the approval of ETFs. This change may also lead to a significant influx of institutional investment, much like what occurred earlier this year when Bitcoin ETFs were authorized. CryptoGeek's tweet intensifies the conjecture. $20 trillion in XRP is being purchased by Blackrock. Even though this figure is obviously inflated, it captures the growing perception that institutional capital is set to flood into XRP. Blackrock's engagement would provide respectability, liquidity, and a new wave of institutional money, turning XRP from a speculative asset into a mainstream investment. With a potential XRP ETF on the horizon, the stage is set for what may be one of the largest transformations in XRP's history. One thing is certain, even though nothing is certain. The discourse surrounding XRP is evolving. The price changes we've witnessed thus far may only be the start if these ETFs are approved. Naturally, there is a lot of speculation about what will happen to XRP next, with Blackrock perhaps joining the fray and an XRP ETF on the horizon stage. However, how large may this pump be? Believe me, you're not prepared for these forecasts. You will be stunned by the predictions made by leading cryptocurrency analysts. The XRP community is ablaze with conjecture, and some of the most recent projections are quite astounding, ranging from a modest $3 aim to astounding estimates of $10,000 or even $35,000. The disparity in expectations is astounding. While some reject these figures as pure fiction, others argue that XRP may be about to experience a huge surge in value due to past price trends and increased institutional interest. Levi encapsulated the urgency in his message. This is your last chance. Meanwhile, Random Crypto Pal went even further, XRP parabolic scenario. It will happen soon, but what is causing this optimism? Among the most outspoken XRP bulls, based on past price cycles and percentage-based algorithms, AGRA has charted a comprehensive price trajectory for XRP that suggests a potential $70 objective. EGREG is confident that XRP will hit double digits this cycle and may perhaps soar into triple digits in the upcoming market cycle. This is consistent with XRP Captain, another well-known analyst, who maintains that $100 is a reasonable goal for Ripple's coin. Then comes Dark Defender, whose prediction elevates the situation to a new level. He believes that if history repeats itself, XRP might soar to 333 based on its 2017 bull run. According to his study, XRP may go through a period of exponential growth similar to what it experienced in past cycles after it breaks specific resistance levels. Naturally, detractors claim that these high price projections disregard market capitalization restrictions. The market cap would reach $1.6 trillion at $280 per XRP, which seems improbable considering the state of the cryptocurrency market. Dark Defender disputes this assertion, arguing that market capitalization is a myth and has no bearing on XRP's potential price. Crypto Barbie and Random Crypto Pal have set some of the most ludicrous price expectations for XRP, predicting that it may reach $5,000 or even $35,000. Although these figures may appear ludicrous at first glance, proponents contend that XRP's contribution to the adoption of global liquidity institutions and its possible use in central bank digital currencies might increase demand beyond previous levels. Let's now discuss Ripple's collaborations. Although we already know that strategic alliances will have a significant impact on XRP's future price movement, believe me when I say that the amount of work going on behind the scenes is much greater than anyone could have predicted. You will be shocked by the extent of Ripple's connections and the organizations supporting XRP, and you will realize why XRP's next move might be quite significant once you see the whole picture. Thus, Ripple's international growth represents more than just a new development. Cross-border payments are undergoing a paradigm shift. On-demand liquidity integration in Brazil, Southeast Asia, Mexico, and India portends something far more significant than business alliances. It concerns XRP serving as the foundation of a new financial system that will replace antiquated banking rails with a quicker, real-time substitute. Conventional banking systems have long depended on SWIFT, a global network that links more than 11,000 financial institutions. However, as noted by Jack the Ripper, XRP has already undergone successful testing on SWF's network. This indicates that banks are actively investigating its possible integration in addition to being aware of its possibilities. Consider this. Every time a bank transfers money internationally, XRP facilitates the transaction instantly, rather than requiring days of waiting and expensive fees. No delays, no middlemen. When he stated that XRP will bridge all the money, XRP Dragon wasn't kidding, because if Ripple can completely integrate into this infrastructure, It will be more than just a token. It serves as the catalyst for the banking industry's next phase. Let's now discuss pricing. Institutions employing XRP on a large scale will cause demand for the asset to soar. The crypto market is driven by supply and demand, and unlike ordinary traders flipping coins for short-term gains, banks and payment providers require liquidity to conduct trillions in transactions. That means constant purchasing pressure on XRP, leading to possible price jumps. The entry into Mexico and Brazil southeast. Asia and India are just the start. With important financial centers such as Dubai, Ripple is already gaining traction in Japan and Singapore. XRP is establishing itself as the preferred asset for global liquidity. Once banks and other financial institutions begin utilizing XRP, by default, we may witness a price surge that has never been seen before. The whales were not blind to this development. They are secretly hoarding millions of XRP in anticipation of a huge price spike. However, why is this a significant bullish signal that has the potential to alter everything for us? The indicators are clear. Smart money is moving, and history has predicted what will happen next. The whales are moving in, and history indicates that when large sums of money begin to accumulate, significant things are likely to happen. XRP Whales has amassed 150 million coins in the past 48 hours alone, indicating that high-net-worth traders and institutional investors are preparing for a possible rise. Ali Martinez brought attention to this spike in whale activity, which sparked conversations about what might happen to XRP next. A common leading indication of market mood is whale accumulating. These investors don't act on impulse. They purposefully purchase at low prices in anticipation of significant future price movements. Whales' large purchases and holdings cause market scarcity, which lowers the amount of supply available on exchanges. When demand exceeds supply, prices may rise as a result. The size of this recent accumulation indicates that these whales anticipate a significant adoption event, a regulatory breakthrough, or the next bullish stage of the cryptocurrency market. However, this is where things become even more intriguing. Smaller investors and regular traders often follow suit if they begin to notice the whale activity. This sets off a chain reaction in which demand soars, FOMO sets in, and prices start to rise. We have already observed this pattern in cryptocurrency markets. When prices are low, whales first quietly accumulate, and then the larger market catches on, igniting a significant rally. Analysts predict that if this pattern persists, there may be a dramatic change in public opinion. In the past, significant price breakouts have been preceded by extensive whale accumulation, taking into account XRP's expanding significance in international banking, its participation in SWIFT testing, integration with major banks, and growing usage in on-demand liquidity services strengthen the argument for a long-term rally. Liquidity is another important consideration. The amount of XRP that is available on exchanges decreases as more of it is locked up in whale wallets. This makes it more difficult for traders to purchase at the present price and creates the conditions for price spikes when demand increases. These whales' accumulation for long-term holding as opposed to short-term trading indicates a high level of trust in XRP's potential. The whales may be putting themselves in a position to benefit from the next significant adoption wave, which could cause XRP's value to soar, rather than merely wagering on short-term gains, given the growing institutional demand and integration of XRP into international financial systems. There are indications, and history tends to repeat itself. If the trend continues, XRP may be about to have a huge surge, and those who are keeping an eye on it now may be ahead of the curve. The sole issue that remains is, do you think that XRP is a good investment? Please share your forecasts for the Ripple token in the comments area. I'd be interested in hearing them. With that, this video comes to a conclusion. Thank you for watching. Make sure to use the like button if you found the content valuable and enjoyable. Most essential, Remember to subscribe and leave a comment with your ideas or queries.